Jean-Claude Van Damme has finally broken his silence on Steven Seagal, and what he's revealed is even more explosive than fans imagined. For years, people speculated about their feud and hoped for an epic reunion on screen. Instead, a mysterious Instagram post, initially seeming like peace, turned out to be the calm before a long brewing storm. After decades of tension, Van Damme has now come forward with raw honesty, revealing a hidden rivalry dating back to the early 90s, when their names dominated every video rental store shelf. Van Damme was the dynamic kicker with real fight credentials, while Seagal brought a brooding presence and Aikido-based moves. But behind the scenes, things weren't friendly. Seagal repeatedly made sly jabs at Van Damme's credibility, mocking his ballet background and questioning his fighting skills, all without directly naming him. It wasn't loud or public, but insiders picked up on the disrespect. Van Damme stayed silent, letting his box office hits like Bloodsport and Time Cop speak for him. But industry insiders knew there was tension. Directors avoided casting them in the same projects. Crew members whispered about how producers picked sides to avoid on-set drama. It wasn't an open fight, but it was a silent war, one fans debated endlessly. Could Van Damme beat Seagal in a real fight? Was Seagal's Aikido even practical? The rivalry wasn't just personal, it was philosophical. Van Damme was all heart and power. Seagal was cool and mysterious. Still, they mirrored each other's careers, one-upping each other with film after film, but the truth boiled under the surface for years, until one infamous night nearly changed everything. At a party hosted by Sylvester Stallone in the late 90s, legends like Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis mingled with Hollywood's elite. And that night, both Van Damme and Seagal were there. It started off light, laughs, drinks, stories, but Seagal, as usual, couldn't resist. He made comments about Van Damme's background, calling him overrated and questioning his legitimacy. Van Damme heard it, and this time, he didn't hold back. He confronted Seagal, challenging him to settle it outside, martial artist to martial artist. Seagal backed off. He left the party, but Van Damme wasn't done. He later found Seagal at a nightclub and challenged him again, in front of witnesses. Seagal refused once more. Stallone would later confirm the incident, calling it one of the most intense moments he'd ever seen at a party. Van Damme didn't do it for show. He wanted respect. And in his world, that's earned through action. Though Seagal's career continued, the story stuck. Among martial arts purists, the fact that he walked away twice said everything. Van Damme never bragged about it. He never used the story for press. He let silence do the talking. But the feud wasn't over. It had just gone quiet. Then, years later, Van Damme revealed something that shocked fans again. In a 2023 interview, he casually mentioned that he'd once been offered $20 million to fight Seagal. For real. Not in a movie. A real high-stakes martial arts match in Las Vegas, arranged by Hollywood heavyweight Peter Guber. Van Damme said yes. Seagal didn't show. The media erupted. Forums, YouTube, headlines, everyone was stunned. Why would Seagal walk away from that kind of payday and legacy-defining match? Was he scared? Protecting his image? Unlike Van Damme, Seagal had never proven himself in competitive fighting. His Aikido background was real, but mostly demonstrated in controlled environments, never battle-tested in tournaments. Maybe he thought a real fight would risk too much. Maybe he just didn't want the truth to come out. Even in telling the story, Van Damme wasn't boastful, just calm, almost like he'd been waiting for someone to ask. The silence from Seagal after that? Deafening. No response, no denial, no challenge, just more quiet. But just when people thought the feud had fizzled out, Van Damme posted something that blew everyone's mind. A photo, him and Seagal at dinner, toasting, smiling. The caption, thanking Seagal and his family, and teasing a big announcement coming soon. Fans were stunned. After decades of tension and 2 near fights, this looked like a truce, or a setup. Was this the start of a long-awaited collaboration? A movie? A documentary? Or was it just for show? The video was polished and brief, no sound, no behind-the-scenes clips, just a slow pan across the table. Van Damme smiled. Seagal stayed stone-faced. People weren't sure what to believe. Was it real peace or just a carefully staged illusion? What do you think? Was this dinner the end of the feud or the start of something even bigger? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, subscribe to InsiderUS for more stories that Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. It wasn't just a birthday dinner. It was his birthday dinner. Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme finally appeared together, and fans were stunned. After years of avoiding each other, why now? Why post a photo that looked friendly, even collaborative? Some thought it was a peace offering. Others saw something calculated. If they really buried the hatchet, why no smiles, no handshake, no reunion like Schwarzenegger and Stallone? Why so vague? Rumors flew. Was it promotion for a secret movie? A publicity stunt? Or was it just another chapter in a decades-long feud hiding something darker? Longtime fans noticed something in Van Damme's expression. Subtle, but telling. Not hate, not joy, just a quiet message. That post wasn't a reconciliation. It was the calm before a storm. When Van Damme finally broke his silence, it didn't go viral. There was no flashy headline, just one interview, calm and direct. And in it, he said what many whispered for years. He is a fraud. Not out of anger, just honesty. He was tired of the myths, the silence, and the image he felt Seagal had faked for decades. Van Damme didn't hold back. He said Seagal claimed to train CIA agents and battle criminals, but never fought in a real tournament. Never stepped into a competitive ring like Van Damme had. He reminded everyone, I fought. He didn't. Then he brought up the $20 million fight offer, equal money, a Vegas crowd. Van Damme said yes. Seagal didn't. That dinner they had? Not a friendly catch-up. It was Van Damme checking to see if Seagal had changed. But he hadn't. The bravado, the stories, still there. And that big announcement teased in the Instagram post? This was it. Not a movie, just truth. And it hit harder than any punch. Fans had debated for years who'd win in a fight. But Van Damme revealed, it was never about fighting. It was about respect. And he tore down the image of Seagal as a real martial arts master. This wasn't beef. This was a revelation. Suddenly, the feud was no longer rumor. It was personal, public, and final. Seagal didn't respond. No interview, no post, no denial, just silence. And this time, the silence didn't seem like mystery. It seemed like avoidance. Fans and martial artists took sides. Some said Van Damme was bitter, but others saw truth. The online world lit up. Old Seagal clips were reanalyzed, and his wild stories now felt more like fantasy than fact. Meanwhile, Van Damme's real fights, real footage, and real scars resurfaced. And martial artists? Many quietly supported him. Some loudly did. Seagal's image as a fighter started to crack. This wasn't just about fame. It was about what being a martial artist really means. Is it about looking the part or living it? Van Damme didn't follow up. No media tour, no drama, just a single statement that reset the narrative. The feud, the silence, the staged photo, all led to this. Yet, not everyone turned on Seagal. Loyal fans still defended his legacy. Yes, he popularized Aikido and brought a different energy to action films. But legacy isn't just image, it's proof. And that's where these two men part ways. One lived his truth in blood, sweat, and training. The other, in mystery and myth. In the end, it wasn't fists that changed the story. It was honesty. After 30 years, the truth finally came out. No apology, no fight, just revelation. It wasn't the ending fans hoped for, but it was the one they needed. Now the question is yours. Was Steven Seagal ever the real deal, or just playing the role of a lifetime? Subscribe to InsiderUS, because behind every headline, there's a story you won't want to miss.